Tim and Sean from Dive Right In Scuba helping you size up and adjust your new XDeep Zen Deluxe or Ghost Deluxe. We're going to take you through the basics, setting your D-rings, waist strap, crotch strap, adjusting that quick release assembly, maybe having to remove shoulder pads. This video is going to help you through all of that. All right, so you got your BC on. Let's see right where we're at in terms of the generalized fit. So first thing you want to do is have your waist strap nice and tight. Crotch strap should be snug, but not overly tight. Your shoulder straps do not have to be excessively tight. They are really not holding the weight of that cylinder on your waist strap is. So to adjust the height, you want to be able to touch the top of your back plate with your hands, both single and double. And then, depending on what you're planning for exposure equipment, you want to adjust your quick release assembly. So if I'm primarily wearing dry suit or a thick wetsuit, I'm going to actually, when I'm wearing this unit, going to be pulled out quite a bit. When I'm wearing nothing, you can go ahead and you can tighten her up like so. So depending on how you want it to fit, if you want it to be kind of in the middle, a little bit looser, all of that adjustment is going to happen in the shoulder. We're going to show you how to do that. In terms of D-ring placement, upper D-rings should be right. So if I'm coming straight across, you should be hitting that spot right there. Personal preference is always there though. If you decide that you want your D-rings higher or lower, left or right, it's your kit. Do it as you want it. This is just one man's opinion on how to set it up. As for waist buckle, having it dead center or a little bit off to the right is perfectly fine. As for your hip D-ring, I generally like that right in my midline. It's kind of a good place to start. If you're using the XDeep weight pockets, that's going to change, right? Now your waist pocket is actually going to have that D-ring built into it. You may just be taking that off altogether. For this particular system, so I'm 5'10", about 155 to 160 pounds. This is the large backplate with the large harness. I gotta tell you, I'd be a perfect candidate for a small harness, large backplate, but as you can see, I was able to make it work. The only thing I had to do when I was adjusting the shoulders is I did have to remove the shoulder pad because it's just built for a much larger body. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So again, upper D-rings, setting that height. The shoulders, in terms of tightness, you should be able to easily fit your hand in and reach back. You set your extra length depending on how you want to do it. You know, again, I'm traditionally wearing something much thicker, so having it all the way tightened down is fine. Crotch strap, just snug. Waist strap, nice and tight. I like mine dead center. If you like yours off to the side, that's fine too. So now we'll take you through actually making those adjustments.
Hey, it's Sean back at Dive Right In Scuba, and today we're going to talk about adjusting our Zen Deluxe or any deluxe harness for an XDeep wing and backplate. Divers come in all shapes and sizes, so even with the proper size BCD, there you might take a little bit of adjusting before the BCD fits you perfectly. Today we're going to go over the process of adjusting our shoulder straps to make sure we have a nice, secure, and accurate fit. First thing we're going to do is remove this cover strap here, this comfort strap. You can do that easily by removing the Velcro tabs. There's 3 here, and then underneath you'll notice as this comes away, you'll see this Velcro flap here. Go ahead and lift that. You'll notice that it's threaded underneath the plate, like so. Just pull it through, and your strap will separate. These straps are specific to the size BCD. So a small BCD shoulder strap is 32 centimeters from tip to tip. Now that we've removed the comfort cover, we can look at our strap here and see where the adjustments are going to be. This right here is our slack, and so if we want to make this any tighter, all we have to do is floss this webbing through and pull that slack back. So, for example, we can start by pushing some slack through this D-ring here. For this example, I'm just going to do a few inches. Then, you'll notice that D-ring's loose now. Pull that snug. All right. Now you'll notice that we've got a lot more space here. We moved that extra inches, are now in between here. We don't want that. We want that to be slack, so we're going to keep on moving. Start by moving this rubber band out of the way. Then, because this is a double web tri-glide, you're going to want to remove that slack. There we go. Then we're going to pass that slack through this tri-glide just like we did before, about that same amount that you added earlier. Bingo. Then we're going to pull this through and again pull through. With this extra slack that we have here, we're going to fold this back through the tri-glide. It's going to be a tight fit. Just be patient. If you fold it, if you pinch here and fold this tri-glide back away from it, you'll create more of an opening that makes it easier to slide and fit. All right, beautiful. So now we have this extra slack. What we can do is we can put this through here. Wonderful. Just like so. And for comparison, easy as that, we just took, let me slide this up so you can see, that easy. We just took an easy 4 inches off of the length of the shoulder straps. So if you've recently unpackaged a new XDeep BCD with an adjustable comfort harness, a deluxe harness, and it feels a little long, fear not, because you can easily go in here and adjust this yourself until you get the perfect fit. That's it for adjusting shoulder straps on a deluxe harness for XDeep.
All right, so we just went ahead and we made some adjustments to the shoulder assembly here. And this is a scenario that you may find yourself in as well. So we needed to shrink the size of the shoulder assembly so much that if we were to reuse this shoulder pad, the buckle is actually going to be underneath the Velcro. So, could you do this? I guess, right? I mean, I don't think it'd be ideal to not be able to get in there. Maybe the scenario is you just leave that one out and then you utilize the top 3. So that's a solution you can try. That's actually not the world's worst thing. At least you then still have some shoulder protection. Or maybe you want to do what I did on this side and just remove the shoulder assembly or the shoulder pad assembly altogether, and then you're just rocking, nylon. If you want to start introducing other shoulder pads, I mean, just looking at this, I could tell you like a dive right shoulder pad in the appropriate size would work by shrinking this down if you wanted some padding. So just want to show you that there are going to be some hurdles that you may come across, since there are really only 2 sizes of the harness and 2 sizes of the shoulder pads.
All right, so now that we've got those shoulder straps dialed in, we're going to focus on our waist strap. So waist strap's actually going to be super simple to get done. All we need to do is adjust our weight buckle. So we start by unflossing the buckle. So grab that slack, floss it back through. It'll be nice and snug. All right, we got that out. Then continue just following the path of the webbing back through. Okay, so now we've got our buckle just slotted through that one strap here. You can see the groove in case it slides around and you forget where you were. That first groove is going to be where that buckle started. So if you need this to be a little bit tighter, then you can just simply pull that buckle closer toward the D-ring. We're going to have to reposition this most likely. And then if you need it a little bit wider, slide it out a little bit further. So in this case, we're going to put it back where it was. And to get the buckle flossed back through, we're going to start as if you had it all the way off. So dive right in to the first slot. So webbing through the first slot, diving right in. Pull it into position, and then floss the webbing back through slot number 2. Then, easy peasy, we're going to put this back through the 3rd slot. And we're going to floss this slack back through slot number 1. To make that easy on yourself, pinch that webbing to create a wider opening. Slide that webbing through there. And you've got your belt buckle installed. Now, as we move the belt buckle around, we might realize that we need to adjust our crotch strap a little bit too. So these, the trick is, we want to move these in equal increments. So you can take your measuring tape and measure out about how much you'd need adjusted and mark 4 inches. This one we need to undo the slack like before. I'd started this one earlier, you can tell. But just like the others, unfloss that slack. Then you can move that D-ring. Wait a minute, we might have to, I'm making it shorter this way actually. So. All right, so it flosses through there, over the D-ring, and back under. You'd repeat the same step, measuring out the same distance on the other side because we want these to be even with each other, not out of line. If you need to make a quick adjustment on the fly, you can simply adjust by pulling slack from one side or the other. But typically, primarily, you want to make these adjustments from back here.
Standard protocol, about a hand's width from the bottom of the back plate to your D-ring. But again, make it yours. Where does it feel easy to find that butt D-ring? You know, are you hanging a pouch? Do you want it nice and snug? You know, whatever. But standard is about a hand's width. So you can take in and make the crotch strap bigger or shorter, and then just readjust these right where you like them. But that's how you adjust the waist strap and the crotch strap.